Well, hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Having a bit of a problem getting started this morning. I can't get my applications talking to each other, so I'm just recording straight from my iPhone this morning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record this on iPhone, load it up onto the computer, and then I'm going to show you some, load some still photos and maybe some video into iMovie, and then edit the whole thing and put it together. That's a bit of a long-winded introduction, wasn't it? So it's a Friday morning. We've got nice autumn weather now, eventually. We had some really hot weather just recently, but the last few days has been beautiful autumn weather in Adelaide. So I think I did a review recently of this little Panasonic Lumix camera here, which is the Panasonic DMC-TZ80. I'll put a link underneath to that. And I think I intimated that I'd do a comparison between this camera and this other one here, which is a little, this is a Panasonic Lumix also. This is an earlier model. This is a, what's this one called? This is called the DMC-TZ10. DMC-TZ10. And about a week ago, I went for a walk back from my motor mechanics garage, walked home and took these two cameras with me to take photos along the way to do a comparison. So I'll show you a little bit of that later on. This camera, I'm not going to do an in-depth review of this camera, but just briefly, the main thing I found that there's a couple of things here, apart from the megapixels and the technology and the sensor and all that sort of stuff. You can look all this stuff up yourself if you want to. I'm not an in-depth reviewer of cameras. But one of the things that's different about this one is that you don't have a viewfinder, and on this one here you do have a viewfinder, and also you have a touch screen on the back. So I thought that might be a little bit of a handicap not having a viewfinder, but I actually found it's quite good to use this little camera, and I actually enjoyed using it. There's lots of good features on it, and one I was just playing with a minute ago is on the back here. It's also got GPS built in. It's telling me where I am here at the moment, in that council area, I guess, or something like that. I'm not sure whether that's exactly accurate. But anyway, the GPS is turned on 12 megapixels. One of the good things to swap over to video, see there's a red button just there above my finger there. All you do is you're in ordinary program mode, and to actually do video, you just press that red button. I haven't really done hardly any video on this yet, but by the time I finish this review, I might have. The other interesting thing, which I didn't really look at before, was just at the top here, on there, there's a exposure compensation button. And all you do is you press that, and then you can change your exposure. See how it goes like that? And that's a very useful thing to have when you're on the go and you think, oh, that's too dark, that's too light. Excuse me. So, and so I'm just going to take a shot now from here. That came out all right. What I did find with this, when I was at a caravan park with my youngest son and his kids just recently, and what I did find was that in low light this camera is not all that great. In good lighting conditions it's good, and but if you're using just program settings, it's going to give you slow shutter speeds, and the ISO is not going to compensate for your camera shake and all that sort of stuff. So I'll show you some samples of what I did with that in the caravan park. How did I find it compared to this one? I actually found this one easier than the other one as far as getting around the menu, but really it's horses for courses. I think I've said that once before on one of these videos. There's some fantastic. This is a fantastic camera. This is a fantastic camera. This one actually also does 4K video. This just does AVHCD video quality. I think it's quite good, but I actually haven't done any with it yet, so I'll do that soon. So anyway, just keep on watching. I'm going to put this all together later on. Probably not today now. I'm running out of time today. I've had a very busy week, visiting old football friends and doing other things, visiting other people, and doing some recording of video actually. A friend of mine who lives down the road, he has his own missionary outreach that he does in Africa, and for many years, for about the last 20 years, he's been training people. He's been over to Africa and trained the local indigenous people over there, the locals, on how to be evangelists. And I help him out every now and then with some training material and do videos of them. And it's interesting to note that when I first started doing it years ago, I was using my Canon XL1 mini DV camera to record those videos and turn them into DVDs. And he's been developing a website for many years with resources that he's produced to send over there. And we've recently been doing a video showing people from his website, which is not up and running as yet, to show people how to link up to all the resources he's done. But the interesting thing is that he bought a lot of equipment to film things with, DSLRs and lighting equipment and tripods and microphones, the whole works. And we experimented with them at different times. And but the other day when we did all I did was use this iPhone here, and he was blown away, and so was I, really, with how much quality you can get out of just using an iPhone to film a training program. I might get his permission to put a little bit of that in there without the sound, so you can see what I mean. But welcome to the Tree of Life website. It's based on the mission that Jesus gave his disciples before returning to his Father in heaven. He would go to his Father in heaven, and his disciples would go into all nations with the gospel of Jesus Christ. But the offshoot of that is that all his gear is now obsolete as far as he's concerned. He wants to launch out into getting a reasonably good iPhone and use that, maybe 2 iPhones, to film all his training material. So as a consequence, I've got a lot of his gear here, and there's some wonderful cameras and video cameras and all sorts of things here, and most of it's in mint condition, hardly been used. And I've been coming to terms lately with the fact that I'm getting old, and my wife is very concerned that I've got so much stuff. What's going to happen when we pass on or go into a nursing home? The kids are just going to grab all my stuff and probably just put it in a skip, a dump truck, and get it taken away. So I've come to the conclusion that I've got to really start selling things, and really not. I'll need to keep a few of my cameras, but I'm going to be, and I'll probably do another video on showing you all the things that I'm going to put up for sale. And mainly I'll be able to selling them to people in Australia. I've never shipped overseas, or maybe I could be talked into doing that, I don't know. But if you look at some of my videos of reviews of cameras and things, some of those might be up for grabs. And because I would have done reviews of some of the film cameras a while ago, I can't necessarily guarantee that they're working 100%, but they should be at the moment. And I've got a whole lot of films I've got to get processed where I've taken samples on all those cameras. But so over the next couple of months, I'm going to be putting up a lot of cameras for sale. So watch this space, I guess, is what I'm saying there. Anyway, I'm going to sign off just here at this stage, and then we'll move on into the viewing of the photos that I've taken with these cameras and some video later on, just so you can have a comparison and see what you think. Look up these cameras on the internet. You get all the specifications, and you can download manuals for them as well. So thanks for watching, but keep on watching. Okay, so these shots are taken on a walk back from my motor mechanics place, which is in a sort of an industrial area. And these are factories. Some of the factories have closed down and warehouses have closed down. Others are still operating. There's one that's closed down. And so these first shots are taken on the Panasonic Lumix DMC-TZ10. And I'll let you know when we come over. It was too hard to try and put them one after the other to give you the comparison. So after I finish these lots with the TZ10, I'll then show you some shots I took on the same walk with the TZ80. I'll let you know when we come to that. Okay, we're coming up to some shots along this. There was a telegraph pole with 4 magpies sitting up on it, so I used the zoom on the TZ10. was very pleased with how close I got because they were a long way away. I shot everything on programmed auto exposure on both these cameras, and and I didn't play around with the settings too much at all. A lot of them could have been sharper if I had have taken more care, and I don't think I've changed much on the the Photos app on the Mac. I haven't fiddled too much with any of these. They're JPEGs pretty much straight out of the camera. And now we're coming up to a shopping trolley that people just take them and dump them anywhere. And this is on the linear park here, and it's next to a tree. And then once we finish there, then I'll cut over to the TZ80. So this is TZ80 from now on. This bus you're about to see was moving, and so I didn't make any attempt to have a shutter priority or anything like that, so I didn't pick it up too badly, just using the programmed auto exposure. The reason I didn't put any video on this particular post was I had trouble with the older camera, the TZ10, like the TZ10. I couldn't actually download straight onto my iMac to edit it. It wouldn't load up. I could load it onto the computer screen and watch it there, and it was fine. But then I couldn't make it come into iMovie. So that'll be for another exercise. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.